Hello dear students, this is your science teacher Mrs. Tasneem Atif and I'm happy to be with you today. Today we continue our revision, Unit 3, Lesson 2. Lesson 2 speaks about the genetic traits, and there is big difference between genetic traits and acquired traits. All living organisms perform a set of vital processes within their bodies, including reproduction. They all reproduce to produce new individuals or to get new individuals according to their parents. The science that studies the transmission of genetic traits from parents to offsprings is called genetics. It's clear from the above there are traits that are passed from parents to offspring without learning and are inherited from one generation to another generation, such as the color of hair, the shortage of leg of the Arctic fox, and the presence of hard skeleton covering the body of turtle. Such traits are known as genetic traits. There are behaviors and skills that are passed on from parents to children without learning, such as spiders weaving webs to catch insects, chickens sitting on eggs. Such behaviors are known as behavior instinctive or instinctive behaviors. There are traits that are not inherited from parents to offsprings and they are acquired from the surroundings or from the environment by learning, training, and are not passed from one generation to another generation. These traits are known as acquired traits. Examples of these traits, including a child learning how to walk or learning different languages. These are examples for acquired traits. Okay, so these are different traits in front of you, and you have to detect which one is considered as genetic trait, which one acquired, and which one instinctive. Chromosomes and the transmission of genetic traits. Genetic material is found in cytoplasm of prokaryotic living organisms and the nuclei of eukaryotic living organisms in the form of thread-like bodies known as chromosomes, which are responsible for transmitting genetic traits from parents to offspring. Chromosome structure. Each chromosome consists of two strands. Each one is called chromatide. They connect at the central point by centromere. Individuals of the same species agree on the number of chromosomes found in their somatic cells, such as liver and skin cells, and their number varies from one species to another one. So, for example, the number of chromosomes in corn plant 20, while in bees 32, while in human is 46 chromosomes. A chromosome is chemically composed of DNA wrapped around a type of protein called histones. DNA is made up of small parts called genes, which consists of each of them is made up sequence of smaller building blocks called nucleotide. It's found in the form of two stripes wrapped around each other, forming what's known as double helix. And genes are responsible for the appearance of genetic traits within living organisms. A single chromosome carries thousands and millions of genes, the number of which varies from one chromosome to another in the cell of the same individual. The role of genes is expressing the heritage traits or according to the heritage traits. Genetic traits are passed from parents to children through genes like hair color, skin tone, like the lens, and so on, with an individual inheriting half of this genetic trait from the father and the other half from the mother. We have two scientists, Beetle and Tatum, came up with one gene, one enzyme concept, which states that each gene produces a specific enzyme. This enzyme is responsible for chemical reaction that leads to formation of protein, showing a specific genetic trait. Mutations. Why do some cows look bigger compared to other cows? Why or what are the reasons for a person who was born with hand of 6 fingers? A change may occur in the nature of gene, such as a change in the order of nucleotides that made up the gene, which lead to a change in the genetic trait for which this gene is responsible for. So, a new trait appears that didn't exist before, and that's known as mutation. Mutations may occur naturally, as in the birth of a black mother to an Filipino son. Such mutations are known as spontaneous mutation. Spontaneous, it's naturally without interaction or participating of human reaction. It may occur through human intervention, as in the production of feathers chicken to save energy, electrical energy, used in air conditioners, in farms, in free zones. Such mutations are known as induced mutations because there is intervention of the human himself. Effective mutations. Mutation may be harmful. Some may lead to death and other may be beneficial and the other type could be harmful. Okay? So, the lethal mutation result in severe muscle atrophy and weakness in some newborns. Mutations can be beneficial whether they occur naturally or by human intervention. One of the beneficial natural mutations is changing the skin color to match the environment, as in light skin color of people living in cold countries to help them absorb vitamin D. Mutations that produce seedless fruits or weed plants that are not affected by wheat rust are all beneficial mutations created by human. Integration with agricultural science. The production of tube-shaped watermelons for the purpose of facilitating their transportation is not result of mutation. That's not because of mutation, but rather an agriculture technique. We can mention that as an agriculture technique in which watermelons are placed in square molds as it grows, making it its shape like this shape. Live application. Lactose is natural mutation that causes the lactose sugar found in milk and milk products such as cheese, yogurt to be converted into simpler sugars that are easier for the body to absorb. People who suffer from lactose intolerance feel cramps, nausea, and other symptoms when drinking milk or eating milk products, all of which are painful. They can avoid milk and milk products and use other products shown in the figure that don't harm them. So instead of using butter, they can use olive oil. Instead of using milk, they can use soy milk. Instead of using coffee creamer, they can use almond milk. And instead of using cream cheese, they can use goat cheese. Instead of using pizza, they can use soy cheese pizza. Instead of using milk chocolate, they can use dark chocolate. And that's it for today's session. See you soon in new video. Goodbye.